Good evening, everyone. This is Dayhawk, your favorite Daedric Prince, bringing to you episode 3 of Shaman King 2021. This episode is going to be interesting, to say the least, because now I have the DVD set of Shaman King '04, and I'm currently watching the episodes just to get even with the reboot, just and giving you a compare and contrast on what they added, what they cut off, and see how that goes. And I made a major discovery. Um, what they're doing in this reboot is they're combining episodes. They're reducing the number of episodes to not make it as long as the '04, which has 64 episodes. So what I've noticed is that they're combining episodes. Like for instance, in this episode, we get to see Anna after Yoh defeats Tao Ren and ends up collapsing, and tells Yoh that it's time for some training. It's going to be harsh, and announcing herself that I am Yoh's fiance. We're going to be married. I'm going to be the wife of the next Shaman King. And of course, Manta was like flabbergasted, same as Amidamaru. And in the next scene, you get to see Yoh gets really tired from all of Anna's training. Anna gets transferred to the same class as those two, and Yoh and his, oh god. All I can say is never mess with Anna. Never mess with Anna. For a 13-year-old, she is beyond her years. In the next scene, you get to see Yoh and the gang go inside a movie theater and watch a kung fu movie featuring Pylon, which is this version's Bruce Lee. And Manta was telling the story how he was the number one martial artist. He was beloved all around the world until he mysteriously died 17 years ago. And then Yoh gets kicked by Anna in the face due to him being noisy. And then leading up to them going outside after the movie is done, we get to meet Tao Jin, which is Tao Ren's older sister, and she unleashes her guardian spirit, which eventually gets discovered as Li Pylon, and of course everybody was shocked. And then she tells the story of how not only she is a priestess, which is a different type of shaman or shamaness, she received Pylon as a birthday present, and tells the gang that her family was the one that her family were the ones who killed Li Pylon 17 years ago. So that's when everyone got shocked, and Yoh gets beat up pretty badly, and Manta runs to get a wooden katana because before Yoh gets beat up, Amidamaru discovers that he can't fight properly without a katana That way he could destroy the charm that's in Lee Pylon's face. And of course, Manta was like, how come you're not helping Yoh? And she brought out a good point that as much as she wants to help him, it's just another test for him. It's just another test, because if Yoh cannot beat this spirit, how can he go up against other guardian spirits leading into the tournament to be qualified for the Shaman King competition, whatever. And yeah, there was moments Anna was like crossing her arms and just have this, hand gestures, whatever, like she wants to go and rescue him, but she knows she can't, which leads to him, Manta, running to and scout for a wooden katana. That's where Manta discovers Ryu, and of course Manta was asking him if he could borrow his wooden katana. He was reluctant, of course. Why would I help Yoh after he whipped my ass and all that stuff? But then eventually in the next scene, you get to see Manta with the wooden katana, gives it to Yoh, and releases Pylon's spell. And then that's where he wakes up, wondering where he is. He discovers that he's dead. He couldn't feel his body, or he cannot bleed. And again, discovers like his last memory where he got shot. And he goes after Tao Jin, and Yoh goes to rescue her and tells him that killing her will not bring you back to life, that sort of thing. But he refused to listen because he's full of rage. He can't see straight. And that's when Anna goes to the rescue, summons Lee Pylon's old master. Yoh defeats him for the second time, and that's when Lee Pylon, out of his own free will, decides to stick around and still become Jin's guardian spirit. And he ends it with, "I'll be your guardian spirit, but without the charm this time." And that's the end. Just a few things that I missed to finish this up. What is it? Gosh, I had it in my head, but it just slipped my mind. It just slipped through my fingers. Hopefully it comes back once I do the 04 version, which is, it's pretty much the same, except it's in 2 episodes. Yoh is training while Manta was telling him the story about Lee Pylon and how he is his hero, his idol, and he was resting on the bench while Manta was telling the story, and discovers this poster of Lee Pylon in this latest movie. And they want to go see it. Of course, Anna's putting her foot down. I'm not going to waste money on movie tickets. Yoh should be out training. Again, don't mess with Anna. But she relents and she goes with them watch the movie. And it's the same. It's pretty much the same. And then into the next episode, because the match got extended, Yoh gets beaten up pretty badly, and towards the end of episode 6, I believe, we were made to believe that Manta ran away all scared. He ran away, got scared and he ran off. And in the next episode, it was discovered it was not the case. He's just out there trying to find a wooden katana. So everything is the same up until that point. Because instead of finding Ryu in the reboot, in the original 04, he finds a gang. And one of the gang members had the wooden katana. Okay? So he stops the gang from going anywhere else and asks for the wooden katana. And he gets beat up. And right until the finishing blow, Ryu was there and rescues him. He beats up the gangsters and takes him back to the fight scene. And from there, remains the same, except Ryu was in the picture. He witnessed everything. And that's when, towards the end, the seeds were planted, saying being a shaman is cool, and that's when he gets the motivation to become a shaman himself. Okay? And towards the end, instead of Lee Pylon saying that final line, like, okay, but without the charm, it was Tao Jin herself that said it. That's the interesting part. And they leave. But then up until the end, you get to see Ren at the top of a building. And just from what it looks like, he witnessed the whole fight. He witnessed the whole thing. And he gets more pissed off and more determined than ever to not only to defeat Yoh, but to become Shaman King. So that's 04 for you. And I realized something, In 04, everything gets extended. That's why it had so many episodes. In the reboot, they're trying to combine episodes together, which I understand because they want to reduce episodes, but at the same time, they're cutting off all the important stuff. Like with Ryu, they didn't add Ryu into the fight in this current episode of the reboot. Yes, you get to see him and Manta interact and asking for the katana, but he never goes back with Manta. And that's the part that sucks, because in the 04 you get to see him wanting to become a shaman, while in this reboot, nothing. It's cut off. And not only that, when I was watching the 04 episodes, Ryu gets beat up twice. Ren defeats Yoh once in the first battle. Yoh beats Ren the second time. Yoh visits the hospital twice. And in the second battle between Tao Ren and Yoh was in the woods. And that's when he got lucky and learned to become 100% with Amidamaru and gets to avenge his loss in the first round. Okay? So even though they're the same. It's different because if you're able to watch the 04 and the reboot, it's the same, but they cut off a few things. And in an 04, we get to see Yoh training, him running with these weights around his arms and legs, and he has to run like a couple of miles before he gets home. He has to prepare dinner, and also Manta is another slave to Anna. Unfortunately, you get to see Amidamaru get tied up with Anna's pearls so he cannot escape, fearing that Yoh is gonna run away, and it's just insurance policy, I guess, for Anna. You get to see Yoh's and Anna's house in 04. In the reboot, we don't get a chance to see the house. You get to see Anna get transferred to Yoh and Manta's class. So they pretty much cut away Yoh's training in the reboot, and then afterwards they go directly to meeting Lee Pylon and Ren's sister, and that's pretty much it. In Yoh 4, there's one episode dedicated to Anna and Yoh training, and you get to see Tao Jin's sister in the apartment where Ren lives, and we get a brief backstory and between him and his father, and how everything is on his shoulders, making the family proud, and get reminded of his defeat with Yoh. In the second match between Yoh and Ren, that's when he wanted Amidamaru. Not as badly as the second episode in the reboot, where he wants it, he really wants him, compared to the 04 versions. You're starting to become a useful tool. You perform better on my side than of Yoh, and this and that. And the 04, the sister enters the apartment, tells Yoh, I saw, how can you get defeated by this kid, this laid back kid? You know what, I'm gonna help you, this and that. And she releases her minions in that same episode as Yoh was getting his training done. And of course he can't get away with it because Anna has many spies. So in case he does something other than training, the spies alert Anna that Yoh is doing this, and this, and he gets punished when he gets home, which sucks. Again, you never get away from Anna. Never, never, never. Leads up to the fight with the Shinobis, and Jin is in the black van just spying, observing, and you get to see Anna's training paying off. He's much lighter, he's more agile when he fights, and he easily defeated the 3 Shinobis. I think that's what they're called. And then leading up to the next 2 episodes, leads up to the fight between Tao Jin and Lee Pylon and Amidamaru and Yoh. Only the slight difference is, in the reboot, Anna mysteriously receives tickets to watch this kung fu movie. I don't remember if Manta tells Yoh that he's Lee Pylon is his idol, compared to the 04 where he pretty much tells everything. and that major difference with Ryu doing the rescuing and him wanting to become a shaman. In the reboot, he pretty much lets Manta borrow the sword, and that was it. Yeah, and that's 2021 and '04 of Shaman King for you. So I'm gonna do this format of compare and contrast '04 and the reboot and see what's the same and what's different. And as you can tell, it's between episodes one and three, 1 to 3 of the reboot versus 1 through I think 8 at 1 through 8. It's a major difference, man. It's the same, but everything gets cut off in the reboot. So I might have to do this format for you guys because to me it's really interesting. And overall, I still remain indifferent for the reboot because me personally, I don't like reboots. Shaman King will always be a classic to me. And right now, the reboot is not doing Ryu justice. They're not doing Ryu's justice right now because, looking back on it, it's not doing so good. Of course, it will come up later on, but for right now, it's not doing any justice because at least in the '04 version, you start to see after having 2 rounds with Yoh and just like rescuing Manta and witnessing what the match between Yoh and Tao Jin, it just made him want to become a shaman. It planted the seeds. And unfortunately, we don't get to see that in the reboot just yet. Which, of course, they're cutting out they're combining episodes to reduce to be reduced compared to the 64 episodes of '04. So, I mean, right now, it's doing okay. It's pretty much the same, but they're cutting off juicy details. And I could not necessarily rant, but repeat what I said, but I'm not going to do that here. I'm trying my best not to repeat myself, but it's a struggle. It's a struggle. Anyway, I would like to say thank you for making it this far and hope to see you again in the next episode of Shaman King. Well, doing the review of Shaman King. This time will be episode 4 of Shaman King 2021. Thank you so much, Johnny.